For years, the independent woman and boss chick archetypes have dominated pop culture and social media. These personas, celebrated for financial freedom, career ambition, and romantic detachment, emerged as symbols of female empowerment. Music, reality TV, and Instagram influencers help cement the image of women who don't need a man and who live life on their own terms, often in designer heels. But behind the glossy exterior, economic reality is beginning to erode the foundations of these fantasies. As inflation rises, wages stagnate, and the cost of living skyrockets, many are finding that independence comes at a steep cost, and that the boss chick lifestyle isn't always financially sustainable or emotionally fulfilling. The illusion of economic independence. True economic independence isn't just about making money, it's about building wealth, managing debt, and having long-term financial security. Many self-proclaimed independent women are earning incomes, but not necessarily building assets. Living alone, maintaining an upscale lifestyle, and funding luxury tastes can become burdens rather than badges of honor. Credit card debt, student loans, and the pressure to maintain a certain image on social media contribute to a financial squeeze. The curated online world often hides the stress behind closed doors: missed rent payments, empty refrigerators, and maxed out credit cards. Independence, when unsupported by real financial literacy and planning, becomes a facade, a fragile one at that. Career pressures and burnout. The grind culture glorifies working multiple jobs, building businesses, and securing the bag, but it often fails to acknowledge the physical and emotional toll. Many women chasing the boss chick ideal find themselves overworked, underpaid, and isolated. Furthermore, women of color, especially Black women, often bear the brunt of this double burden: societal expectation and economic disparity. They're expected to be strong, stylish, and successful, while navigating systemic barriers that make climbing the corporate or entrepreneurial ladder far more difficult than it appears in a TikTok clip. The reality of relationships. The mantra of not needing a man has evolved from a stance of empowerment to one of defense, often born from disappointment, betrayal, or unmet expectations in modern relationships. But economic reality is reshaping this stance as well. In times of financial strain, partnership, especially one rooted in mutual support and shared goals, becomes more of a practical necessity than a romantic option. The idea of hyper-independence is increasingly being viewed as a trauma response rather than a life strategy. Women are beginning to reevaluate whether being alone is a true preference or a conditioned survival mechanism. The cultural shift. We are witnessing a cultural shift. A new wave of women is speaking more openly about the downsides of the independent woman lifestyle. Podcasts, YouTube channels, and TikToks are filled with voices challenging the narrative that success equals solitude or that dependence equals weakness. This doesn't mean women are turning their backs on ambition or self-sufficiency. Rather, it suggests a more balanced approach is emerging, one that values collaboration over competition, interdependence over isolation, and reality over fantasy. Conclusion. The unraveling of the independent woman and boss chick archetype isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of maturity. Economic hardship is forcing many to confront uncomfortable truths, strip away illusions, and redefine what empowerment truly means. True strength lies not in rejecting help or companionship, but in having the wisdom to build something sustainable, financially, emotionally, and socially. In the end, reality has a way of humbling all delusions, and from that humility may come a more grounded, authentic, and powerful form of independence.